Oh my goodness, hello my book girlies. Today I am gonna go book shopping. It's very exciting. If you are watching this when I post it, it is the month of March. And what book is coming out from a booktuber that is one of my favorite booktubers? Pham. She was kind of like my inspiration to make a book channel, and I've been there since I think when she posted the first 24-hour challenge of like reading books. I can't remember the title of it, but like I remember her like a challenge that she did was a 24-hour thing. I was also there for her husband Ryan Trahan for his 50 state series and watching them throughout that whole summer. And now she just came out with a book. Oh my goodness, happy birthday to her Just Friends book that just came out. I reserved the book this morning, and I'm now gonna pick it up at Barnes & Noble, and I cannot wait to read it. I'm so excited. So let's head on in. Oh my goodness. I have the book from Pham. How is this real? Like, literally, jaw dropped. Like, I've been looking on this on the internet, her talking about it, her being excited about it, literally celebrating the book's birthday today. Like, I am so excited. This just does not feel real. I'm like, what do you mean I am able to have my grubby hands on it? Like, it's so perfect and beautiful. Like, I was kind of just admiring it. Like, wow, good job on the art. I don't know who made this, but very good. I didn't realize that, like, with books, you're able to do the inside. And I thought that was pretty cool. Oh, and also the other side. Lol. And also I did not know is when I opened this book up just to, just to admire the pages, I found in one of the couple of pages, she left a note for the OG fans that get her first edition of this book. What? Are you kidding me? Like, that's crazy. And I'm never ever giving this up. Like, being one of her OG fans, this is like probably the first wave of these books getting printed. No one can take this away from me. Like, I'm lost to words. Of course, after I got this book, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. So I got myself a cute little pink drink, sat down, started reading it. It really did hit me in the feels because, of course, it talks about her graduating college, which that's literally me. I'm literally post-grad right now. And then, of course, she goes home because one of her family members is sick. And I'm like, that's definitely something very touchy subject, and I feel like all of us have gone through something like that. I'm like 20 pages in. I haven't started reading. Like, it looks like we're gonna be going into a flashback. Interesting. And we just met both main characters of Blair and Declan. I think it's Declan, not Ducklin. And of course, I think, even though, like, these are the characters, I think they, like, with the cover, I think it's supposed to be actually Haley and Ryan. If you don't know who these people are, that's Haley, the author of the book, and then Trahan, her husband, that also has his own business, which I need to get joyride while reading this book because they just need to go together. And I can kind of see a little bit of her in the book. And I don't know if she did that intentionally, but I'm like kind of like reading of her, and I love that like she does some of like some cultural things, and I'm like learning something new in the book. And yeah, I just like that I can like just be like, oh yep, that's Haley. Like I see her. I feel like, I don't know if she did that intentionally or just like, you know, from experience. But I will come back to you when I have more of an update, and I want to take this slow because I'm like, it's a really cute book, and it's definitely, it does happen in the summertime, and I know it's March, but I'm probably gonna finish this before the summertime. So yeah, all right, I'll come back later.
The afterglow of this daily war. I need so much more.
Chapter
than just holy
25.
water.
Here we go.
The wind is roaring my heavy song. It's been
So
way
I
too long
just finished
since I almost caught
the
her.
25th chapter, but I'm now like on the epilogue per se. This is like 6 months later. I slated the chapter name 6 months later. And I just read something about they're gonna go on a date on the beach, and I kind of feel like I know what's going to happen, because previously he gave her a gift that he can't open unless you hit with a hammer. So I have a suspicion that something good is gonna happen. So I'm gonna record like my reaction like with audio, because I've been like doing a little time-lapse thing on my phone. So if anything happens, we're gonna get my good reaction, and I'm so happy for them, even though I know I don't know what's happening. So let's continue. Ah! Oh. Mm. Mm. Oh, that was so cute. Oh, and then what's left is her exclusive behind the scenes. Mm. And I'm done with the book. Oh. No. But I'm like happy I did, but I'm like, I won't get that back. That was really cute. Oh. Okay. Now I'm gonna have this like soak in my brain, and then I'll get back to you. Alrighty, it has been a couple of days since I had finished Just Friends by Haley Pham, and I wanted to just marinate the thoughts that I had. I didn't know if it was like all emotional, so I was just like, okay, is my thoughts about the book still the same? So I just wanted to come back since I had time away and review this book. So I will be sharing the pros and the cons of this book, and this could be spoiler alert kind of thing, but I feel like you would need context of what I'm going to be saying. So let me start with the cons, because I only have one con. I don't know if it was just like when I was reading it, like I had the TV on, so like I don't know if I was just like not in it and just not like really seeing when they had the argument. For some reason I just felt like there wasn't more of a fight. It just felt more of, it was like a one-sided thing of like, of like, and it was, of course, it was all of a misunderstanding, like, but I would have thought, like, because she thought that he was mad at her for wanting to follow her dreams, but for some reason, like, in the argument, I didn't really see that. It was more of like he just wanted to like take care of her and all this, and of course she took it in the wrong direction, but like I didn't see him arguing back at her. It was only her that was like barking kind of thing. So I don't know if like if it was like in effect, if it needed to be that as extreme. I guess that would have been the only thing. I feel like that's like, I feel like the argument would have made sense if they were like fighting more back and forth instead of it being kind of one-sided. Let's go to pros, because this, like, some reason, this is what I would probably would think of more of what I would want in a romance book. Like, there's not that explicit spicy scenes. Like, I do not like any of that. Like, I would, of course, I would go to as probably close as like holding hands, kissing on the cheek. And there was a lot of like kissing on the lips, which I understand because like they kind of went like it's like they already had chemistry there. And of course they didn't go into detail of like kind of going to like the next step of like when you start kissing, you know, that's how the spicy things happen. But it stopped at like just being like, oh, like it was like home, like this is like when I'm kissing him, like this just feels like home kind of thing. And that's the most explicit thing that it would say with like anything emotional between that two, besides like their miscommunication. I do really like that there was other characters in the book. Like, she also had other people that she was talking to. I know like in the beginning of the book we start to see the reason why she came back home to her to Seabrook was because of her aunt getting sick, and of course like having that layer of it of like kind of having just mourning a loss of somebody. And then of course her friends that she made in college are like in different states, and she was like, we were seeing like her inner monologue of just being like, why are they not responding back to me, like they're not asking how I'm doing, like all this type of stuff of like you think of. But then like when they literally, this is spoiler, so when her friends come to Seabrook to actually meet with her, then she was like, oh, all the thoughts that I was thinking was all wrong, like they actually really care about me. And I guess it's like kind of like a lot of this is like kind of brings back to like how I feel about life, like what I said earlier, like this is like she is graduated from college and she's kind of like in the weary of like she has a job right now, but like she's like in the middle of like not knowing what to do, and like her friends are off doing things, and like that's like I felt like how I am. It's just like, well, it's like her love language is probably quality time, and that's literally me. I'm quality time. So yeah, I think I just like really related to this book so much, and I'm like, yeah, if I was in this situation I probably would have acted the same way of like, really, I'm like, is this how people are thinking of me, or making assumptions of what's going on? And I think that's where like the miscommunication came from. And of course I have to say this in the pros, literally at the end, do I say it? I already, you know, they live happily ever after. Maybe that's how I just should keep it. But I'm just like, it is so cute. And that's like I like with romance books. It's like it just ends with a happy little bow, and I'm just like, oh, it's so cute. And of course, let's say they're engaged. But I really want to know, like, I wonder if she's gonna do like a part 2 of this book or something, because first off, I'm like, I want to know the details of the wedding, and second, I want to know what book Blair was writing about. I know it talks about like the romance portion of writing it, and it was already published, but I don't know if it's a separate book she was writing, or if it was this one. I feel like it wouldn't be this one. It probably will be a separate one, which would be actually really interesting if Haley actually like made a book about the book that Blair wrote or something. I don't know. I feel like that'd be a really interesting concept. I would definitely recommend this to people that are trying to get into romance, like understanding like the second chance romance. This is kind of like, I think that's what the trope is, second chance romance. It's just a very good story of a girl that's coming back from her hometown, having struggles in her family life, and then bumping into somebody that she used to be friends with, and then all of a sudden, like, now her like world is kind of flipped because it's like, oh, we had a very bad ending to our friendship, and now it looks like we're trying to make it work again. So I definitely recommend that to people that really kind of like that style of books. My star review of this book, I rate this a 5 out of 5. I know I'm not somebody that would just give a book a 5 out of 5, and it's really crazy of me to do so, but the reason why I did this was because I was just thinking back of like, how was I acting when I was reading the book? Literally, it made me excited to read it. Like, I literally would wake up and be like, I want to read the book. Like, I was like, that was the first thing that came to my mind when I was like, what am I gonna do today? I'm gonna read this book. Like, that's like was always on my agenda. It wasn't like, oh, I have to read this book. Like, I never had that energy. And like, even when I was reading it, I was just like, kind of just like the I can kind of see how that can happen, or I can like, I relate to that. And then like, also like just the cultural things that are in it, which I'm like, I wish that I would have known more of. But I'm like, I just, and even like, if you saw my last clip, I'm like, no, it's over. Like, I will never like able to read this for the first time ever again. And it made me sad that like I'm already like at the end of this world, and I loved this world. So I am just very grateful, and I'm very happy that Haley Pham has published this book. I'm just very happy of Haley Pham has gone through with this book, and I was watching a little bit of her video of like just her whole process of like literally starting to write this like when she was 22 or 2022. Somewhere along that, like she was in her 20s writing this, and like just not even thinking that it would become a reality, and then like it's slowly becoming like, oh, seeing a possibility of actually it coming to a finishing product, and then her showing of like all of the drafts, all of like the books that she printed out just to get a feel of how like this actual book would be. And I'm like, it just feels so inspiring of like, you just don't know of like how much thought has been put into a book that's literally like less than 330 pages. Like, it's truly, it's something like you don't even think of. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any ideas of any book related content, or if you have any recommendations of that type of books like this, like PG romance or second chance romance, please leave in the comments down below, and subscribe. I would love for you guys to join my little bookworm community. All right, and remember that Jesus loves you. Bye bye.